Yes, it's a very deep subject. I will say maybe it has to start with love. So if you begin loving yourself, you know how to love. So you can spread your love, you can love others. If you believe in yourself, you know how to believe in others. The same with trust. Uh, it's very important to work on multi levels. So it's not just one way you develop trust to that person. That's it. How about trusting somebody whom you don't know? It's very challenging. And sometimes we represent it with these situations when it's not easier. Yes, you learn how to trust this close family, maybe a couple of co-workers, and who knows, very close friends. But how about expanding? So it all comes with the first step. It's like a baby step, trusting yourself. So if you can do that, if you can accomplish that, you'll be very good at going further. But don't slow down. Once you know how to walk, you can run.
Hi, my name is Zenka Caro, and I'm founder of LightNet and the Purpose Lab. And my mission in life is to erase the word impossible from our minds. I'm here today with Julia Rotella. She is a professional Vedic astrologer, and she runs a website called Knowledge in You. It's kind of interesting because this is at the core of her philosophy that your purpose and your passion is actually within you. And she uses Vedic astrology to really highlight the things that you might have forgotten about yourself. I did a session with her, and I've got to tell you, my jaw was on the floor the entire time. I couldn't believe how she was calling me forth and the accuracy and truth that was just running through my body the entire hour long. Here she is, Julia Rotella.
It's an interesting question. I've been working on that quite a while. It's an important question because it helps me to define my purpose in life, whom I want to be. I became Vedic astrologer to help people, and I love doing it. I created this website, Knowledge in You, with the idea that all knowledge is actually hidden in you. So you know everything. You possess this knowledge. Somehow, our upbringing, our society, family reshapes us. It doesn't let us be exactly who we are. But I think it's a wonderful thing if you can tap into that, realize your potential, you can achieve so much more. And the key to that is very simple, I think, is be true to yourself. Yes, it's that moment when I wanted to be a light for people. Back in looking back into my past, there's been a number of times when I've been in a very difficult situation, and I know how other people helped me to become who I am. I realize this is so important in my life. So I see it's an important key to actually guide people or just be the light or simple confirmation. What they are doing is great. Because a lot of times we are lacking of this confirmation. Sometimes we distract from our true self. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we do. And I think it's very important to know what we are doing is the right thing. My difficult times, yes. Back in my childhood, I had hard times when I had to become myself independent really quickly at the age of 16. I had to provide for myself, live in a different place and in a different city, and then that city became a different country. It was challenging, and with that, I had to discover myself. I didn't know who I was. So it was an interesting journey. It was very challenging but interesting. And only later I could conclude this was great time for me. So my travels are actually my teachers. And here I am with a message. Whatever happens in life, good or bad, it's all needed. It's all important. It shapes us. It helps us to determine, who we are. Usually, when we're comfortable sitting in a good position, have good work, family, and so on, it's stagnation to some degree. So we actually need to move on. And when we get crisis in life, we don't like them. It's painful, it hurts, but that's exactly when we grow. It's absolutely needed. Certainly, it took time to realize. So when it hurts, we don't understand much. All we do is we survive. So in a survival mode, when we're in trouble, all we can do is just get better. We want to get better. On a physical level, we get better. If things get better, it's great. I think in spirituality for us, it's very important actually to go through this process. And it took me years to realize it. It was all important in my life, all needed to transform me, to make me somebody else. So, and I have to witness I'm a very different person from who I was. And I'm looking forward to that. I like it. I actually love my challenges. Not that I love pain, but I know it's a very important process in life. It didn't start with astrology. It was very interesting. I was at a point in my life very desperate, and that's how it starts usually. That's what the shift begins. So when very desperate, I was very desperate. It was a very hard time for me. I really had no place to live. Finally, rented an apartment. Had to work many hours, 11 hours every day, and was exhausted. There was almost like no meaning for me in life. I was so tired, and then I had to part with my beloved boyfriend. So it was very challenging for me. I remember that day so well. I was in subway, I just couldn't hold my tears. Even in public, usually I'm pretty good with that, but it was so difficult. And then when I get out of the subway, I remember meeting this lady. So she was with a sign, tarot reading. I can read your palm. I will never stop by those people at that time. I will never think of anything big. But I was so desperate. I said, like, what's the big deal? I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna talk. I really need help. And so I started talking to her. She looked at my palm, and what she told me, I could not believe it. It transformed me into completely new person. And I can tell you, up to these days, her prophecies came true. Everything. And she told me a lot of things actually. She said that my life is going to change dramatically. And what I have to suffer with right now, it's nonsense. Don't even worry. Don't worry about this person. Don't worry about your job. You're going to have everything. And she was right. So, and this transformation, I have to admit, helped me enormously because this was the pivoting point for me. I went home and I felt so light, so great that I really believed everything she said, and partly because she was able, actually she told me my past to such a degree of accuracy, it was mind-blowing. So if she was a big important point of my life, I have to admit. So when I started doing astrology, I realized I wanted to be a person like she is. I want to be someone who can transform people, who can give them hope and new meaning, because everything is there in life. You can achieve everything in life. You might be not at the right time, it might be not at this place, maybe not with this purpose, not with this person, not that work, but just a little bit changes and you'll be fine. And this is what I want to be for others. I want to be that point, pivoting point, to help them navigate that life can be different and very dramatically beautiful. It's all there for us. We just need to allow ourselves to love and be available for this beautiful change. Yes, Vedic astrology, I love doing it simply because it's very detailed. And I've witnessed so many charts and people's lives that it correlates so well with what they experience and what I see in the chart. And when I can see transformation in people, like changing, navigating their life, showing them potentials, especially when they have challenging moments in life, it just transfers me, it makes me, enlightens me, it makes me much bigger. I think it's very important for me to help others to see that there is a path, just like back in my childhood. At some point, I felt like I was completely lost. Like I didn't know what to do, how to function, and this is it. This is dead end. But all I can tell is there is never dead end. Never. It's a question of time. So maybe it's not good right now, but it's better a bit later. It's a question of space. Maybe it's not good here in this situation, but if you move, or if you find a different job, or maybe even going through divorce, it's going to change everything for you. So knowing with this knowledge, I understand that it's all, um, you can be in complete charge of your life, even if sometimes situations are not easy for you. But it's a wonderful thing to know that you can be in charge and you can change your life. When I read charts, I go into deep details, and I love actually to talk about some of the issues. I don't like just to work about general ideas of what happens with them, but I like to work with this particular question. So if they ask me, this is what's bugging me, this time, this space in my life, please help me. We can relate to that. So going back to astrological chart, I love actually seeing confirmation there, so I can see where the planet's position, aspects, angles, and so on. There are all these little things that we can see as astrologers, and I can point out. So I can. Sometimes a person might be lost, might be doing something that's not related to his life. Put so much efforts, sometimes frustrations, and it doesn't bring him anywhere. So showing the path. Oh, sometimes people are well advanced and know what they're doing in life, and they're doing so well that all they need is just confirmation. Saying so well, you're on the right path, and they feel better. They know that now they can dive in 100% with what they believe is right. So if you have a purpose, you know what to do. You don't need to struggle. You don't need to prove somebody. You don't need to be better. You don't need affirmations from somebody else. It's always in you. So it's like a light. If you possess a light and you can transfer it to others, there is a heat, there is a love, there is a light coming from you. But if you don't see that light, you kind of dim it inside. You're constantly searching for for the lights from other people, and it's not doing a good job for you. So it's a simple description is kind of a lost person. I firmly believe that we all come here on Earth with a clear understanding of who we are, but because this world is 3D, so we need to function within the limits of our physicalities, so our bodies, our needs, um, and we need to fulfill simple needs. So I understand why people actually transgress, go away from their original knowledge. Also, the way we are brought up as the kids in the family, we're supposed to do this way. You're supposed to say thank you. You must, you should have, and so on and so on. It all transforms. School also wants us to obey. A lot of times we learn how to obey, how to submit. We don't learn how to be an independent person, unfortunately. When you go to work, you try to fit. So the first thing you're learning how to fit to this society. So there is a lot of brainwashing going on, and challenges, I think, to the degree that we are trying to adjust to the world, but we are going too far away from who we are. So, but we do possess this knowledge, everybody, and you possess this knowledge who you are. So if you tap deeply into yourself, you'll understand who you are. If you trust yourself, this knowledge will be available for you. You can use it all the time. So as astrologer, my purpose is to bring you back to this knowledge. Just give you simple confirmation. Yes, you are the knowledge. You came to me for advice. You possess this advice. You came to me for knowledge. You know the knowledge. It's all hidden inside of you. It's all you need to do is just to trust, to tap, to affirm, to admit that you are the knowledge, and it's there for you. I will say the very first thing is the honesty. Be true to yourself. But it starts just like with you, it starts with others. So trust yourself and trust others. So you need to be honest to every word you're saying. It's a big work because this society doesn't really approve being honest all the time. Sometimes it makes you look miserable. You're not in the right place. So little lies, big lies, it's a common thing. So start with that. Also, it's very important, I think, to trust others. So once you trust yourself, you know how to trust others. You can bring this true essence of who you are. And then learn to tap into yourself. So there are different techniques. For me, works, for instance, in dreams. So I'll ask before I go to bed, I go go to bed with this big question that's nagging me. So, and I kind of keep asking, I walk around it in my thoughts, like, why this happened? I need an answer, please. I need the answer. And it happened to me that I will get the answer in the morning. And it will be so clear. I cannot say it does every time, but it depends how much you need, how much you're ready for that answer. So it's always in you. And I think it's helped me enormously, actually. Sometimes I learn actually to do through the day. If I need to tap into my knowledge, and I just need to get this clear understanding what's going on. So being in a meditative state, calming my mind down, and ask this question even during the day, I do get answers. Everybody can do that. There are different techniques to do that, and we all have access. It's just it's like a muscle. You need to practice. You need to tap into that, and I practice. Usually when I go to sleep at night, I sleep on my question. And it depends on the density of the question. Sometimes it can be so strong that I wake up in the morning with such a clear answer, as if that answer's been always within me. I cannot say it was just one time a realization. This is my purpose in it. Through the life, I redefined my purpose a number of times. The final definition as I'm coming now is, yes, helping out others, trusting the self, understanding that we know a lot of things, we understand, we just don't trust ourselves. So through the life, what I learned, it's important to trust your senses, important to go along with your beliefs. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to get lost, because it's exactly that redefines us. That actually it can be a pivoting point for us. It brings us to a different dimension. And this is an important part of development. Development is not just like a start at point A, going point B in just straight line. It's a lot of times ups and downs. And that's what I experienced. I think by example, I teach people to be at ease, trust. Life will take care of us just the same way as if you worry or not worry. Don't worry a lot. I think it's a very important key. Um, I love seeing transformation in my clients. It's so nice to see. Some examples will be when people know what they want to do with life, but they need reconfirmation. Other examples will be I'm tapping very deep into their deep inner child, that they knew they need to work, they tried, but it's something they never wanted to do, that they escaped. And when I brought it up, I've seen this couple examples just recently, that they transform, they become different people. They feel like, who? Yeah, and now I can start my business. Doors are open for me, and I love it. So I feel like I'm a big transformation for people, and this is what keeps me going. Yes, I'm a dreamer in a way, because I do envision the world when we don't need to fight, we don't need to struggle. I imagine there are no wars. We don't need wars, we don't need conflicts. I think there might be still minor conflicts, but it can be easily resolved in a manner that we don't have to hurt everybody. It shouldn't be that difficult. Yes, I feel the world is full of freedom and capacity. So I think as humanity we can do much more, we can achieve much more. It can be a different total world. When we care for each other, when we spend more time on creation and love, on support each other, on inventing new things. There are still so many things to invent, still so many things to cherish and enjoy. It's all available for us. Think about how much time is spent on wars if you compare countries and some of the miseries that people have to struggle with. On the level of developmental, just where we are working, I don't think we need to work so much. Imagine if we don't have to pay taxes, because it's all transparent, it's all clear to us. We are true, everybody's true. We don't need to have somebody to supervise. I don't think we need the government. Have a few people like managers who are supporting us, it's fine. But we don't need the rulers, we don't need the lead. So freedom is defined to live your life as what you believe is your purpose. to be true to yourself, to enjoy, and also to put some efforts into something you truly love doing it. That's the freedom. When you're restricted because you have to pay money, because you have to pay rent, you have to do a number of things, you have to pick up kids from school. To some degree, sometimes it's not freedom. But if you choose, you're gonna homeschool kids, for instance, or you choose your child will go to school because it's gonna benefit him so much more. It's better than homeschooling, for instance. That's the freedom. How many people have this freedom these days? Not many. You can choose what work you want to do. Work that pays or work that makes you fulfilled. You can choose, you can decide where you want to spend your time. How you want to spend your time, with your beloved ones, or because you're forced to go to work again, because you need to do certain things you don't really enjoy. Sometimes people work and works that are miserable, and it's not really good. It's very important to work where you love doing your stuff. So that's a freedom. But working, seeing these sessions, we've done so many sessions. It's very practical knowledge when I've seen so many sessions and how it transforms people. It's like mind blowing. I love it. So, in my opinion, it can be astrology. It can be key, genes key. It can be, you can work with a healer. You can work with anybody you like. It doesn't matter. I think any of these tools, if you can say that, any of these tools can be worked very well and implemented. So if it works better for you to do astrological reading, do it. If it doesn't work, if you don't trust, if you don't believe, don't do it. It's not yours. You'll find meaning somewhere else. Yes, it's a very deep subject. I will say maybe it has to start with love. So if you begin loving yourself, you know how to love. So you can spread your love, you can love others. If you believe in yourself, you know how to believe in others. The same with trust. It's very important to work on multi levels. So it's not just one way you develop trust to that person. That's it. How about trusting somebody whom you don't know? It's very challenging. And sometimes you represent it with these situations when it's not easy. Yes, you learn how to trust this close family, maybe a couple of co-workers, and who knows, very close friends. But how about expanding? So it all comes with the first step. It's like a baby step, trusting yourself. So if you can do that, if you can accomplish that, you'll be very good at going further. But don't slow down. Once you know how to walk, you can run. So it's easy to love your own child because it's your child that came from your body. You raise the child, you put a lot of love and efforts. It's harder to love a child of somebody else. How about loving your beloved one, your husband, for instance, or loving somebody who has no relationship to you at all, just a stranger? It's challenging. So how about loving, let's go further step ahead. How about loving somebody whom you hate? So that's even harder. And when we talk about universal love, it includes everything. It includes somebody you love, close family, you love somebody whom you know, and it's okay to love, and you love somebody whom you hate. So then it comes a question about hate. Well, if you love that person, there is no hatred anymore. And that's what's important about universal love. It heals everyone. Well, I would say it's simple, probably. If you trust yourself, if you know your essence, you love yourself. If you don't trust, if you think it's something wrong, it's not easy to love. So you love yourself, you trust yourself. It's easy for you to see your purpose, your meaning, why you're here. So it's like you're in balance and harmony with yourself. And then as you transform this love, loving others, you understand that your purpose is more than taking care of yourself, but expanding, reaching out to others, helping out others, and being a very meaningful, important piece in this world to find a true purpose.